everyone, I'm Julia Campbell here at Gems Boutique, and this is Style and Color, an interview series with game changers in business, sport, technology, and culture who advocate for women's empowerment. Today, I had the pleasure of speaking with singer, songwriter, and activist Kinley Dowling, or as some of you may know her as Kinley. Tune in to hear what she has to say about style and confidence. Hi Kinley, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Julia.
Thanks so much for coming. This is so exciting, and so exciting that I was going to try to do it's today, but we're airing the day before your album drops, so I won't pretend that we're doing
Tomorrow today.
Ellen or something where you're don't surprise, your album drop is actually today, but your album drop is tomorrow, which is super exciting. So just tell us a little bit about that first.
Sure. So I just have my second solo album coming out tomorrow, and it's self-titled Kinley by Kinley, and it's 8 songs that are very personal to me, but that's just how I write songs, and I hope that everyone likes it. So far, a lot of kids like it. I've played with a lot of kids, and they're
nice.
I'm like, okay, if kids are dancing, that's a good sign. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
It's a great day.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So I was reading a couple articles. So did they call it your sophomore? Is that what?
Yes, it's my sophomore.
Right.
I love that word.
Me too. I was like, it's her sophomore album. Kinley by Kinley.
That's the one.
Love it. So tell us what your daily routine looks like. I know it will probably change often, but for instance, tomorrow on your album drop.
Tomorrow
tell
I have to get
us.
up early. I never get up early. I like to wake up at 9 o'clock. I know that sounds crazy, but I go to sleep at 2, so it's not crazy.
9 sounds very reasonable.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does. Very reasonable.
Start work by 9:30 in bed still.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get up and I have a coffee. I love drinking coffee now. I work from home, so.
Were you not always a coffee drinker?
No. I was I'm drinking tea. I'm drinking lattes. Now I'm straight coffee, just right to the veins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's me
Love
too.
it.
Yeah, right to the veins.
So tomorrow I'll have to do some interviews online. I did some already, which are great. And then my friend Gislaine at Kineshi Vinyl, what's up, PI? She's gonna drop off all my vinyl tomorrow. So they just got pressed. So I have on the album, it's so pretty. It's gonna look so big, in a big vinyl. And my friend Ashley Ann Clark did the artwork for the front of the album. And I was just showing Julia, and it's so pretty, and it's this beautiful green valley with a moon on it, and the valley is actually Rainbow Valley, right where the water slides were. So it's pretty dear to my heart.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah, so good. And the vinyl are pink, and I love them so much. I just saw a video.
Oh my gosh,
of them
the
being
vinyl's
made
pink.
today. Yes, the vinyl.
Wild.
Are pink.
That's
Anyway.
so cool.
So I have to get those at lunchtime and then pack them up, and I don't even know. I have to practice for another show. I have a show with my cousin Liam.
Oh, cool.
February 29th at Bar 1911 as The Express. We used to be a band years and years ago.
And now you're coming back.
We're back.
No way.
Because we're all just mostly because my mom's request. She was like, I miss The Express. And I was like, you know what? I miss hanging out with Liam. Let's do it.
We'll bring it back for you.
Yeah. We got a call from Ben
Bring it
Murphy.
back for Estelle.
And Ben Murphy was like, hey, I'll help you finish making your album if you can do the show. And I was like, that's fair trade. Let's do it. So it all worked out in the end.
So it's album drop. So I'm assuming that there's more. Is there more PR at this time, or is it kind of just PR just kind of steady?
I don't know. Well, I've done I hired this PR company in Toronto called Listen Harder, and another one called O2 Research, and they're really awesome. So they send me a lot of interviews that I just have to do online. I'm mostly just on my computer all day long doing interviews, talking about myself and my songs. It's very strange, but that's what you gotta do in this world that we live. People want to know the behind the scenes secrets.
Oh yeah, they do. Big time.
As soon as the camera's on, I'm like, here's all my secrets. I don't know why. Something read an interview. I'm like, I'll tell you whatever you want. All the truth. So that's fun. Yeah, I'll have to do, I assume, maybe a couple of phone call interviews. I don't know. Matt Rainey, call me. What's up?
Yeah, absolutely. And he should be.
Oh, it's so fun in here.
Oh yeah, no, it is. I know. Customers come in.
I love wearing this outfit too.
Yeah, how amazing. We got some wind outside with those sleeves. It really is something.
Yeah. Oh, and then at supper time, I'm gonna celebrate with some drinks with a couple of my friends, and we're gonna put it on Facebook Live because.
Are you? Yes, good
that's what we have
idea.
to do. Yeah.
Absolutely go on Facebook Live.
I'm always nervous at Facebook Live.
Are you?
Because as soon as the camera's on, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I always find too now there's almost like a buffer because when you go live you like, you know, you don't start right away. You like because you have to wait, see who joins. So I find like there's always a little buffer just be like, hey, and then it's like do, and then like if you have other people there, they can talk, you can talk, and then you kind of just like work your way. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be fantastic. Let us know what style means to you.
Ooh, style. That's a great question. I feel like my style has definitely changed throughout my life, but in some ways, in some ways I feel like I dress as I did when I was 6 years old, when I was like finding my style. So it's really strange.
It's amazing.
I'm like finding all these pictures of myself. I'm like, oh my god, I still have this. Yeah, it's so wild. Like, I feel like
I can actually relate to that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can. Yeah, I actually can relate to that.
Like, I'm finding myself wearing a lot of jean overalls and like weird hats and bright colors. I'm like, I still like all these things.
Yes, totally.
Style is such an interesting part of life. I feel like when I started playing in Hey Rosetta, I had this idea of what I should look like because I was like, this is a concert, people are paying money, so I dress up in these like really fancy things, and like they were probably too tight, and like high heels, and I would just be like not comfortable at all,
right?
And just like this is what I'm supposed to look like, and like tripping over cables, and after a few years of like falling on my face, actually one time I did in Saskatoon, I fell right on my face.
Oh.
Anyways, I was like, well, I'm never wearing high heels.
It
again.
must happen to everybody though. Everybody who performs must have a fall. If you're a performer and you haven't had a fall, you're going to at your next show.
Yeah,
be ready. Yeah, be ready.
I also just remembered at Dalhousie University going up to accept my diploma and graduation, got my high heel stuck in.
Stop it.
Yes, stuck in the stair. Couldn't go on. I was like, oh. Anyway, a minute later, looking like a fool, I made it across, and I was like, well, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna wear high heels anymore. Although I'm already 5'10" and 3/4. Not that should stop anyone from wearing high heels, but
I hear you on that though. Yeah, though too.
Yeah, these shoes are incredible. Julie let me borrow them for this.
Absolutely.
But I'm just I'm a little bit teetery. I don't know what they are, but I'm not great on them.
Right.
Bye, Darren. Have a good day. I love the staff every day. It's so friendly.
I know they are. It's a good crew.
But style. And then I started working in film a little bit, just behind the scenes a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Like doing the art department and stuff. And everyone wears all black all the time.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, I like this. It's easy.
Is that because they're supposed to, or that's just like a film thing?
Some roles you're supposed to.
Okay.
Just in case you're like in the shot, no one's gonna see you.
Right.
But I kind of really love it, and I just have so much black clothes, but I really like jazzing it up.
You do like jazzing it up, for sure. Jazzing it at Gems. That's actually a really good tagline.
Jazzing it at Gems.
Yeah, jazz it up at Gems.
Like, I love getting dressed up for like fancy things too, still. But now I've decided, like, I've realized, don't wear something that's uncomfortable.
Right.
It took me my whole life to realize that.
Actually, yes, for sure.
It's wild.
It does take a long time. Yeah, I think it just takes a long time to finally just be like okay with yourself, and then recognize that like you're happier when you're comfortable. For instance.
Yeah. Also, I'm very excited that athleisure is in right now. I love it.
I know.
I live for it.
I don't know who to thank for that. I was gonna say.
Who is it?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a right. It's a massive movement.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is absolutely massive movement. What do you see with women's empowerment in your industry?
It's everywhere. It's great. It's amazing. Everything's happening. Like, there's so many incredible women or women-identifying musicians in music, and everyone has a voice with music and the internet now. So it's so great. Do you mean in style or just in the industry?
Just in general, and I mean also like I know a lot of people look to you as somebody who really like moved that needle whenever you came out with microphone. So I mean, like, what is that like to be recognized as somebody who was pushing that needle and really like moving that forward for women's rights and for like female empowerment.
It's pretty great feeling. I
Yeah,
say.
I
It was
bet.
like I mean, I always say like I wrote that song for myself, but then so many people connected to it that it's like, oh, it just feels so good. Like it's horrible that so many people connect to it, but
Right.
it feels so good that like I can make someone feel something from that. So I just always strive to, like in my new album I have a song called Washington. It's also about women's empowerment, and I'm
I
just
was
like,
listening to this morning. I literally listened to it on repeat like 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I just am very passionate about some things in my life, and it's the only way. I'm not very good at like posting online sometimes, but I know how to write a song, and I know how to and then when I write a song I realize like how I actually feel about the situation, and I'm like, oh, and it's like really cathartic, and also I don't know, I just learned about myself a lot of this, and I'm so thankful that people like what I'm doing, and
And that people
I think
relate and that
should-
people respond. Like
Yeah,
I feel like,
it's
and
cool.
did you feel too like, and even now with like the album that you're dropping tomorrow, and with your first album and with Microphone, like, do you feel that like it took a life of its? You're like, this was like obviously like your creation and your baby. Then do you feel like it like took a life of its own?
I love that you say my baby, because it does, like,
Oh,
I
it's
don't have
definitely-
kids, and it's not a baby, but it's like it took me a year at least to like
100%
craft
it's your
this
baby.
thing. And I'm like, it's my baby's birthday tomorrow.
Yes,
It's my
absolutely.
sophomore baby. But yeah, it's so crazy. Like I just went from myself in my apartment, like writing this song in like Microphone. I wrote really fast in like 20 minutes, but I mean it took like a lifetime, like a long time for it to conjure up inside my brain how I felt. But and then suddenly it was in the news and in the media and across Canada, and everyone knew my story. I'm just like, whoa, what just happened? Like it was just hit like a freight train. But like all the responses have been like incredibly positive and like encouraging, and I'm like, oh, thanks, that's so cool. Like I didn't even think anyone was gonna listen to it besides my parents and my friends. So that's cool. And it's definitely like pushed me forward, and like I just want to do more in ways that I am comfortable with, because it was slightly overwhelming when,
I bet it
when all
was.
happened. I was just like, okay, and everywhere I went women were telling me their stories, which is like great that they could open up, but I was just like, oh man, like it just kind of like twisted the world view for me, and I was like, man, there's so many horrible things that happen in the world, and like this is hard to deal with. But I went to a counselor, no shame in that. She was amazing, and she was like, do yoga, do these breathing things, and I was like, oh, you're right. She's like, and watch funny movies, and I was like, there are great things that happen in the world, and there's lots of amazing people as well. And so now I was just like, I just needed that to be re-energized and brought back, and I'm good to go. And now I'm writing more songs.
I love it. And also, like, when, as you say, when people are telling you their story, like, as an empathetic person, like, it'd be
very
impossible,
empathetic.
right? I know you are.
God,
I can
I
tell
need
that.
it all.
So yeah, it would be impossible not to take that to heart and just like, oh my gosh. So it's so amazing, just in like all the places that song is now as like part of like curriculums. Like,
It's so cool.
it's
I can't believe it.
It's unbelievable.
Trying to push for it to be in curriculums across North America. I don't know.
Are you?
who
Yeah,
would
good
call
for
it
you.
That, but like Jenna and I are just like the task
just
force
has to
that,
be.
yeah, and the task force that made the actual like curriculum that goes along with the music video and song for Microphone. It's so incredible and so cool and interesting stuff to learn about, like consent and gender norms and stuff, and they did such an awesome job of it that I think the rest of the world should see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so cool.
Do you have any icons or heroes?
Ooh, I have you. I really, really love. Well, Gwen Stefani has been there since the beginning. Love her style, love her music, love her be better. She's so sweet.
I didn't know that about you. That's awesome.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I didn't.
love her.
I mean, she's unreal. I love
and
her.
Emily Haynes, style-wise, music-wise,
Yes.
pretty much huge hero. From Metric, so she's like mostly wears sequins. So I'd say like the reason why I wear a lot of sequins, I guess I was inspired by her, and I didn't even know. And then I was looking at photos of her recently. I was like, oh, she made sequins cool. like super cool. I mean, Gem and the Holograms, original OG
Yeah,
sequence,
sure. Yeah,
but modern day. I'm like, but like, let's see. That's my like style icons.
Right.
Yes. Icon. Well, Sarah Harmer has been my musical icon for so many years.
I love Sarah Harmer.
She also has an album coming out Friday, February 21st.
No way!
Yes,
Both of you dropping tomorrow. That's amazing.
And Rose Cousins. What's up, Rose?
Is Rose also dropping tomorrow?
Yes. It's so
And Rose
crazy.
is here in March. I know
Oh,
that.
no way. Yes.
Rose!
What's up?
Love Rose.
So good. Oh, it's so fun. But like, I'd say, yeah, people that Taylor Swift. Let's be honest, I'm a fan.
I just started her documentary on Netflix, and I haven't
so
finished
good.
it. But
So
literally,
good.
I watched not even the first 20 minutes, and I was just like jaw dropped, like zoned in.
It's crazy good. I've
Zoned
gone to
in.
her show twice with my gal pals from Newfoundland. Shout out to Kathy and Nancy. What's up, Swift sisters? Emma Swift sisters. And it's just like an incredible live show, and her songwriting is so perfect, and like her message to women and girls is just like, we have the power, we can do this. It's like, I'm just bawling at every show. Like,
Oh, I bet her shows are
so good.
unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be amazing. Last but not least, what do you love about yourself?
Ooh, that's cool. I love what I also hate about myself, which is that I'm a socially awkward penguin. Like I get like nervous and anxious, and I'm just very large and like clumsy. But people find that endearing at the same time. So I'm like, okay, it's just who I am. I can't hide who I am.
I love it.
I also like my eyes. I have weird eyes. I have weird eyes, and I like them. So
They're beautiful eyes.
They're blue and they have
They're
yellow.
blue and they're
sometimes
large
they're-
and beautiful and almondy.
Oh. Well, one of them is. I was looking at this like sketch my parents made of me when I was like 2 years old, and I was like, why do I have? And my mom was like, a basketball eye and a football eye, and I was like, yeah. I was like,
get
what's like
out.
this? She's like, that you always had it, and I was like, what? She's like, you've just been growing into it or something. I was like, what? Anyways, they're different.
I love it.
Hair.
That's a classic parent line.
Yeah,
You just need a few more years to grow into that.
Yeah. But they kind of look like yellow, and somebody was like, you kind of look like a cat. I just thought of one other thing that I would like to add.
Yes,
May I?
absolutely.
Okay, back to things that I am passionate about. Currently, besides like women's empowerment, equality, the housing situation. So I was just renovicted from my beautiful apartment that I've been in for 6 years. Anyways, Charlottetown really needs to do something to fix the situation. I don't know what the answer is. I hope someone knows. Amy Power, I feel like you got the answer, girl. But there's a big problem with people being renovicted and the Airbnb situation. So maybe we should just study another city and see what they do and just copy it like today, because I don't have a place to live. I love PEI so much with all my heart, and I'll write about it forever. And I just don't want to leave downtown Charlottetown. I love it here. Anyways.
Yeah, but
that's
I also
all
think too, like I think it's a massive issue when somebody's trying to, or somebody has said that you've been renovicted in the middle of February. Like,
Yeah.
it's an issue anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's
It's
minus
so
30 today. It's
everywhere.
minus 30.
It's fine.
And not everyone has a support system.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Exactly.
another whole issue.
Yeah, I have a lot of neighbors that are just like, where do we go? And I'm like, so we're gonna have a meeting right after this interview, and we're gonna chat about it with wine, and we're gonna discuss what our options are. But it's so funny, like my album comes out tomorrow, and I found out yesterday that we're being renovicted, and one of my songs is called "I've Got Money Coming," and the chorus, or one of the verses is about the housing crisis.
No
and
way.
And I was like, oh my gosh! It says. No room for anyone else right now. We've locked ourselves into our beds. Never thought that it would come to this. Guess I took my home for granted.
Wow.
And then I get renovicted. Anyways. So, I hope that Mayor Philip Brand, Alana Yankup, love you guys. Can you please do something about this? I
Yeah,
don't,
agreed.
someone needs to do it now, because I don't know where my neighbors are going to go. It's the winter. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. We'll text each other all the time.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Such
Thank
a
you.
treat. You're the
It's awesome.
best.
You're the best. I
Take
love
care, everyone.
you.
Have a great weekend. And make sure that you go find Kinley's new album on all the platforms.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Tomorrow, it'll be, yes.
Everywhere.
Come here.
I love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you later. Bye.